Hello and welcome to 918, EDD 918, I should say, Organizational Systems and Behavior. My name is Ryan Mears, and I'm your instructor for this course. And looking forward to spending the next 7.5 weeks with you all as we work through, to me, what is fascinating material as we think about how organizations are created and how they're structured and how they communicate and organizational systems as far as the processes within them and all kinds of things that relate to organizational life. And I'll have more to say about that when we actually get into the lecture content. So this video is just meant to be an introduction for you to the course. I'm going to briefly go over a couple of things in the syllabus and kind of the course structure, and then let you get after the content. Before I get into the syllabus, you might want to have that pulled up and look at it, although I'm not going to walk through it in fine detail. But before we get into that, I want to say this. This is my first time teaching this course as a 7.5 week course. And I think some of you have maybe started to get used to that structure since Clarkson switched to that this year. But for me, this is my first go at the 7.5 week system. So having said that, I'm going to look to you all, and I really mean this. If you could give me feedback as we go along, just to help me out to know, is the workload feeling like too much? Is it feeling like too little? Although I think most of us probably aren't going to be too eager to say, oh yeah, it's way too light. Load up more work for us. But if it is, if you're like, it's a doctoral course, I paid for this, I'd like to get a little more out of it, I feel like it's a little bit light right now as far as, the work and everything, let me know. Or especially let me know if you just feel like you're drowning. I'm going on a formula we have that says, X amount of time should be spent on the lectures and things like that. The kind of directed learning, that would include discussions and the discussion forums and your time spent in there, but then so much time should be spent on your own, which would be the reading and the reading responses, and then working on the papers and the book reports and things like that. So I'm using a formula, and I'm trying to ballpark that. I think I'm close to that, but you get into reading rates and that varies from person to person. So again, just let me know, because I'm curious to know if this is working for you or not. Like I said, shifting to the 7.5 weeks. So with that, let me tell you a little bit about me, and then we'll look at the syllabus, some of the major assignments. So again, my name is Ryan Mears, and I have been with Clarkson in one capacity or another now since 2018, and started in 2018 in February of that year as the director of the EDD program, and did that for a little over 2 years. And then shifted my focus to back to the high school classroom. That's where I started my professional life years ago. And then decided to come back while my kids were in school. My youngest, she's going to be a senior in high school, and so I'm actually shifting out of this role this year and looking for some other opportunities. Would like to return to higher education, some things like that. But nonetheless, have been teaching in the high school classroom for the last 4 years, so I could be a little closer to my kids, spend a little bit more time with them as they are wrapping up their high school careers. So it's been good. I feel like it's been helpful to return and kind of get reconnected with this high school age group, but I love higher education, and especially working with adult learners, and there's just a lot of stuff that you all get, right? And so excited to be with you for this summer and teaching this course. But so since 2020, August of 2020, I've been teaching adjunct for Clarkson, and mostly these summer courses, just because that works well with the teaching schedule, as well as advising or being a chair for dissertation committees. Just finished up with Dr. Nicole Shives just this April, so for me about a month ago, when she defended that. So enjoy all of that work in the doctoral program. Some other things I've done, I taught at a university, a liberal arts university down in Greenville, South Carolina for 6 years, and was a chair of the Division of Communication down there, teaching very similar courses, both master's and undergrad level. I was also, at the same time, a director for the Center for Leadership Development on campus, and kind of started that initiative to develop our students there. Prior to that, I worked in the corporate world in training and development, leadership development. Did that while I was in my master's and PhD work. And so I have a master's from University of Nebraska-Lincoln in educational administration, and then a PhD from University of Nebraska-Lincoln in leadership and communication. So really enjoy talking about leadership, but also looking at it at the organizational level, which is what we're looking at in this class. And so just love all of this, love the material, and excited to share it with you. So to the syllabus, I think I've got my courses structured pretty similar to other courses. I looked at the roster, and a couple of the names are familiar. I think from last summer you took maybe 939 with me, so it's going to be a similar setup to that course, as well as I think most of the other EDD courses. So we'll have some lecture videos for you to look at each week and some readings mixed in with that. As well as then the discussion, the forum post for you to post an original one with a prompt from me and respond to at least 2 classmates, and all of that on the timelines. You can see all those for yourselves. And then the other assignments as we go along. And most of the weeks are going to run from Monday morning until Sunday night. That's kind of the course week, the module week, except for this. This first week is pretty tight, so you're going to have to jump on to those forum discussions, because you're starting this course 8 a.m. Thursday morning the 16th, and need to have that post done, I think I said, but this week by Saturday night. Normally it's going to be by Thursday night, and then respond to your classmates then by Sunday night. So pretty kind of tight on this one as we jump in to the deep end with the lectures and the material and everything else, but I know you can handle it. And then hopefully from there it'll stretch out a little bit and give you the week time period to work on that. The major assignments for this course are those 4 reading responses, and that'll be, the first couple are reading the textbook, and you'll see the instructions there as far as what I mean by a reading response. And then for the last 2, some articles and things like that I would have you respond to as well. And then you'll see that you have a book report, and I usually have had good feedback on the book report from students. It seems to be one of the favorite assignments, just because I let you pick it, and there's some suggested books in the list. You don't have to. You just let me know. If you're using one from the list, great. If you're not, I would just ask that you run it by me and say, hey, does this sound like a good one? And most of the time it is. It just needs to be something related to organizational life, organizational development, organizational change, communication, leadership, something in there. So pretty broad category you're looking at that you can pick for that book report, and then you read it, and then you put together a narrated presentation that you'll turn in for me. And so again, that usually has been one of the more favorite assignments for this course. So hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. And then the other major assignment is the conceptual paper, and you can read and canvas the instructions on that. Basically, the idea of the conceptual paper is you're going to look at a potential problem, could be an organization you're a part of, and you would say, if I was going to research this is what it'd be. So it's almost like a proposal, if you kind of think of it that way. It's not a full-blown research paper, but more just kind of to get you thinking about how you might approach these situations in an organization. And, normally I tell folks when we've taught this for the 12-week section, you might want to take a look at that and start thinking about it. But for 7.5 weeks, you need to look at it and start thinking about that, as well as the book report. Get on those. So there's going to be a lot of reading in a short amount of time. There's one other assignment you'll see in the syllabus, and I'm still debating on this one. I have a couple of ways we're going to do something with it, but it's the Carl Weick case study analysis. And what I'm not sure yet is if I'm just going to have that be a discussion post kind of thing, or another paper that you would work on. Again, I can go either way, and I'm going to that's one where I'm looking to get some feedback of, boy, this feels like a lot. Well, then in that case, we'll probably just shift it to a discussion. If we're feeling like, well, no, I think, we have place to drop it. It'd be a short paper, more like a executive summary kind of thing. But anyway, that one I'm still debating about, just so you know, but I'll let you know ASAP if what we're going to do with that assignment. And then the discussion posts, obviously stay on top of those. That's where, I always say it this way, in a doctoral program, one of the great things about a doctoral program is being able to sit back and kick around ideas and kind of debate and discuss and those kinds of things. And in an online environment, that happens in the discussion forum. So make sure you're staying on top of that and getting your post posted by the deadline, because otherwise your classmates, I'm asking all of you to respond to at least 2 people, and it's hard to respond when there aren't enough posts out there. So make sure that you're jumping in there, discussing. I'll be in there. I'll be trying to discuss some things too. Sometimes I'll be a little more active. Sometimes I may step back a little bit. But I'm going to be in there as well and engaging with you. And then as always, please feel free to email me. Or you've got my phone number. You can shoot me a text or call me if there's questions that you have. I have also set up in the section, you'll see it says Instructor's Corner. That's a place where you can ask general questions. If you have a question about an assignment, chances are somebody else does too. Now, if it's a real specific question, something's going on in your life and you just, hey, I'm struggling or I need a little extension, you could just email me that. But if it's a general question, maybe it's helpful to put that in there because somebody else might have that same question. Well, with that, I'm going to call this good. Make sure you look over the introductory materials, familiarize yourselves with the course and the modules, and jump in there to Module 1. And I'm excited again to be talking with you in the discussion forum. So here we go. Hope you have a great 7.5 weeks.